A very good, wonderful morning to you. And I have a little window, so to speak, to make this video before today's garden guests arrive. Now, before I begin, I just want to say to anyone who's watching this video who's not familiar with Bealtaine Cottage and is seeking an opportunity to visit Bealtaine Cottage, all the slots for May were booked about 2 months ago. The gardens are private. I hope you understand that I cannot have any more visitors this year because I've actually got writing to do, and if I don't write and sell books, I don't have an income. So that's it. No more visitors after the end of this month. Sorry about that, and I'm sorry to disappoint because I know so many people want to come and visit Bealtaine Cottage, but it's not state funded, it's not grant aided. I'm not on unemployment benefit or any social welfare benefits. I have to work. This is my work, so I just don't have the time. Okay, now the subject of today's video, as you can see from the title, is a little bit challenging. But I've been asked by several people in the local community, as well as through some email correspondence that I've had with people, who have asked me why I'm not attending what is the EU Permaculture Convergence here in Ireland this year. Well, there's a very simple reason. I'm never actually invited to go and speak at anything to do with permaculture, simply because I rock the boat. Those of you who are familiar with the website and familiar with the videos I put out here, which are all advertisement free, etc., are also familiar with the fact that I'm a rebel in the nicest way. I question things. I question authority. I question practice. I question why things are done. And it's through a series of questioning and refusal to conform that the Bealtaine Project has emerged to be a very successful project. I delight in refusing to conform, and that's probably what irritates those within hierarchy the most. And permaculture, like any other system or organisation or practice, has a hierarchy. It also has a little bit of a clique. This was brought home to me by someone who visited Bealtaine Cottage the year before last, a lady, a lovely lady actually from Northern Ireland, who attended the permaculture gathering. I think she got a day ticket. Both herself and a friend attended it, and of course they're not likely candidates for being part of the permaculture crowd, if you like. Very conservatively dressed ladies, and presumably assumptions were made therein, and they were also middle-aged, you know, a bit younger than me. And Margaret and her friend, Margaret was very disappointed because she said, "Colette, I was ignored. I walked into this gathering and I felt completely out of place, and I was made to feel completely out of place." So this, of course, is very controversial, even saying this on YouTube. But there you go, I've said it. Do I care that I've said it? Well, if I cared, I'd be dangerous. That's what my grandmother used to say. 4'11". If I cared, I'd be dangerous. But seriously, the reason why Bealtaine Cottage is what it is now is simply because the rules have been broken, the hierarchy has been ignored, all the advice has been challenged, and I've moved permaculture into, I won't say up to another level, but I would say into another sphere, and that is simply Goddess Permaculture. And those of you who are subscribed to this channel know and appreciate what Goddess Permaculture is. And historically, without the status quo being challenged, change would never happen. Those who have challenged the status quo in any historical era have been on the fringes of accepted society. And there have been times in the past, over the past 14 years, when I have felt very much on the fringes of accepted society. But being the person I am, I've actually taken a little bit of delight in that, because I've read enough of history to be aware that without things being challenged, nothing changes, and we're just all stuck in a rut. And much of what I advise on planting and creating food forest and woodland space and, you know, practicing good horticulture, much of what I advise on my website and through these videos flies in the face of what is accepted. And one of the reasons why I left so many of the permaculture sites on Facebook was that much of what I said was challenged in a rather aggressive way, and not challenged to kind of make one think about, oh, you know, could it be done this way, or would this not be a good addendum, but challenged in that it was sort of derided. Oh, look at this. Alcamellia mollis. This, of course, is Lady's Mantle, and there it's just sprung up there between the steps. How wonderful. How wonderful. So, I've been walking around this morning, having read those emails. I've been pottering about as I do in the morning, you know, dithering and thinking and talking to Jack. Jack! He's around here somewhere. And laughing to myself. Because, of course, it's made me realise that part of where my energy comes from is in the fact that I do challenge things and that I am a rebel. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy to be that person, because thus far I've lived a life outside of accepted norms. In many ways. In many ways also I'm actually quite conservative. But I think where it matters, I'm a questioner. Some beautiful Bramley apple blossom. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, even within my local community, I'm outside of the norm. The norm is you attend church. If you're a woman, you attend church, you play bingo, and you go to the pub occasionally. I don't do any of those things. I don't feel I need to, and I don't feel I have to. Just happy living my life. Look at this. Come on, Mrs. B. There's nothing left to pollinate there. You've done your work. She's flitting from flower to flower. Look, and all those little black currant flowers have been pollinated because they're all black currants in the making. You'd have to move on to the apple blossom. Going to have masses and masses of raspberries this year. Look at this. See all the flowers about to break out. Crazy. The raspberries have taken over a little bit. They're quite rampant. Bit like Mother Earth here. She's a rampant old girl. Now this is the blueberry. So, little cowslips. You're not going to find me in the mainstream. You just won't find me there. And those who do manage to find me usually stay with me. You stay with me on this journey. And I get a lot of support. I get a lot of support from people. And having had the brazen face to call this goddess permaculture, which places it very firmly into an area of life where some people are afraid to go. And I know, because I've had subscribers from very fundamentalist religious areas in America and other places say to me, you know, that they cannot be seen to openly subscribe to my video channel because of the word goddess. But they do anyway. They do it privately. So it's great fun, really, isn't it, you know? Flying under the radar. I think we get more done flying under the radar, because the mainstream ignores us, you see. They ignore us. And that's fine. Look at these ferns, aren't they just magnificent? Oh, Mother Earth, what are you at? She's gone feral on me. And you know, when I was busily thinking and contemplating the right word to use to prefix permaculture, because I was aware that permaculture here had been taken to another place, that I was exploring another level. The word that kept coming to me and coming back to me was the word goddess. And goddess is, in my gut, an embracing word, a very abundant word, a forgiving word, an enchanting word, a word that says, thou shalt thou shall, as she laughs aloud. I love the word goddess. My mother, who left this human journey, departed this human journey a few years back. I don't remember her anniversary or anything like that, and I've never been to her grave, nor will I ever go. Same with my father. I've never been to my father's grave, and I will never go there. I see graves as being faintly, just almost irrelevant, because both of them travel with me. And it's not a soul or a spirit, or it's actually a consciousness. It's a consciousness that I engage with all the time. And I refer to my mother now as the goddess, because in every aspect of her life she appeared to be what, I don't want to say not of this world, it wasn't like that, but she appeared to have a very deep intuitive wisdom that I so admire. And my father, who was always quite a dominant force, I mean, he loved her, he adored her, but couldn't abide her to be free. And I think that's the predicament that so many of us now in the human race are in. Whether it's allowing our loved one to be free, or ourselves to be free, or our children to be free, or indeed the very essence of nature to be free. And I feel that I have freed the goddess here. I have freed her. She is who she wants to be. And yes, she is a sentient being. So here I am, rambling on, rambling and raving with a little bit of a rant thrown in for good measure. It's Friday morning, why not? Ramble, rave and rant, the 3 R's. Maybe we all need to practice the 3 R's. Ramble, rave and rant. Get it off your chest, speak it out. But also speak out positive things. Speak out good things. Speak out good energy. Because that's what infiltrates the universe from where we are, which is flying below the radar. Isn't life wonderful? Bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend and have fun and be a rebel.